For sports updates across the globe, Aaron Akerijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
Hey, good morning to you, Aya. Good morning to you, Rufai. Good morning to you.
Yeah.
It's good to have you today.
Thank you, Aaron.
We'll leave it for off the scene.
Aaron gave you a wonderful gift.
All right, let's start it off with the Premier League, and it was Monday Night Football, and Tottenham also have shown their resilience and their fine form at the moment as they've refused to go away. Raheem Song and Maddison, where the guys have got the goals for the Spurs on the day to ensure their unbeaten run this season continues. And kudos to them, they're back to the top of the table. And I must say that at the moment, this man talking about Postecoglou, Ange Postecoglou, has had one of the best starts in the history of the Premier League for a new manager. He actually has continued his rich vein of form from Celtic down here, but 9 matches at the moment, no one has actually had a better start. For the Spurs, they're back to the summit, and at the moment, Manchester City have been diluted to second, and Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and then Newcastle United. It's quite tense and it's quite tight at the summit of the table. But that's how it actually stands. Now let's move away from that and let's talk about the fact that the Champions League returns tonight. And a lot is expected as Europe's premier club competition is back, and the players will be hoping that they can rise to the occasion. And it's been a mixed start to several of the teams as the Champions League has been expanded. We are saying goodbye to this format. From next season, we'll be having a more expanded format in the UEFA Champions League. But let's talk about a team that will be hoping for good fortunes tonight. Arsenal have been lighting up the Premier League. They will need to actually do the same in the UEFA Champions League. After returning, after a long hiatus, they will be hoping to do better. They've got 3 points. They are second on the table. Everyone expected Arsenal to top this table and dominate this particular group. Group B hasn't been that way. Lens have 4 points, and they are the table toppers at the moment. Arsenal go against Sevilla tonight, and they will be hoping that they can actually do the damage. Bukayo Saka has been in rich vein of form, and everything good that actually happens with Arsenal goes through him, and he will be hoping that he has one of those games tonight against Sevilla. Sevilla themselves are having a new manager, and they will be hoping that they can actually draw inspiration from the draw they actually had against Real Madrid over the course of the weekend. Let's see how it actually goes. Moving away from that, speaking about Real Madrid themselves will be hoping that they can actually clinch that particular Group C tonight as they'll be taking on Braga. Easy fixture on paper, but football sometimes could be very tricky. At the moment, they've been able to spearhead 100% run, and they'll be hoping to push it further and put that particular draw they had against Sevilla behind them. Away from that, let's actually bring it home and talk about the fact that Wilfred Ndidi and Karim Adeyemi, who plays for Borussia Dortmund in Germany, have decided to ensure that this particular pitch in Maracana has produced some of the biggest stars you can actually think of that have gone on to grace the Premier League. Gallo, Ikpeba, and some other key people have actually benefited from this Maracana, but they've gone to build 2 separate hostels with multiple beds for those that will be coming to the Maracana so that they can stay, and not just stay, train and get a good living condition, air-conditioned rooms to ensure that the next generation of players will be able to have a little bit of comfort coming into the next level, moving away from this grassroots level to the under-17, and that the conveyor belt keeps moving on. And this is what we say about players, because we have one too many players in the cadre of the Super Eagles, both past and present, that haven't done nothing. Nigeria falls into the bracket of those players and ex-players that don't do anything major for their country after they retire. We get to see Marcel Desailly, for example, come back to Ghana to actually build an edifice for them. DJ Drogba, Sadio Mane, we could go on and on. Nigerians don't do that. It's not in our culture. And these guys are setting the trend and actually ensuring that these things change. And before I actually wrap it up, we spoke about the Betsy Obaseki tournament. It actually kicked off yesterday with Edo Queens off to a brilliant start against Nigeria Rattles. 3-0 was how we actually ended at the Ogbe Stadium, and the First Lady was there to actually ushering a new era. This is the 3rd edition. Kudos to her. And the money and the prize money for the girls this time around is mouth-watering. And we are hoping to see a very, very entertaining tournament, which began yesterday. And finally, Tyson Fury has said he's not sure he will fight Anthony Joshua in 2024. That means this fight might never happen. The Battle of the Brits that everyone is looking forward to might never take place.
Never say never anyway. We'll keep with fingers crossed, If some good money, but somebody comes out there, the Saudi money or some...
But that will be 2025.
Maybe it doesn't still stop it from happening. So never say never. But I'm really particularly excited about, what was done in Maracana, And it's not in Maracana in Brazil for our international audience. There's a place here on
in
Lagos
Ajegule.
In Ajegule, we call Maracana. We have our own Maracana.
Yes.
It's not Maracana, we call it Maracana.
Yes.
So we this is our own football turf, and it's just named after the famous Maracana Stadium in Brazil, But I'm happy about Adeyemi because Adeyemi is not even a Nigerian national, and he has done so well at ensuring this. And Wilfred Ndidi, I mean, it just shows the kind of heart there. But Aaron, in all fairness, a lot of Nigerian players do a lot for Nigeria. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying now, to the level of some of these players have been exceptionally lucky and privileged in life.
They do a lot.
But they do a lot. But not to the level we are talking about.
So some might not, put out the publicity, but they do a lot.
No, I'm not saying, you are missing the point.
Okay, let's take for instance.
Okay.
If you've ever had somebody
that
benefited from the Kano Heart Foundation, is there anything called overdoing?
True.
You will know that Kano overdid.
True.
Agreed.
Do you know how many streams of people over the years benefited from Kano Heart Foundation?
Now, I'm saying that let me explain it so that you don't get it wrong, and also the viewers don't get it wrong. I'm saying that football was kind to several of these people. And usually what the footballers do as a means of giving back, especially in football, not just generally, is to ensure that particular pond that fed them, they actually ensure that they expand the pond.
Trust me, Aaron.
And so many of them have not been able to do that.
Aaron.
Especially those that have been fortunate to have played to the highest level.
Aaron, I think what you say is based on my limited knowledge. But trust me.
No. Okay, you mentioned Kanu. If you mentioned Kanu Nwankwo, mention 4 other players that can actually do this.
Do you know how many players, despite his disability, Dosu Joseph, ensured played abroad? Do you know how many players, even way back, the likes of Okushege Shegodegbami, ensured went abroad?
Yes.
Do you know how many players, the likes of Osinjeji Okocha, helped? Aaron, I can go on.
That is the least you can do as a player. Because if you help somebody go abroad, it's almost economically beneficial to you. They are sending these players abroad.
Even the likes of the so-called Mikel Obi, a lot of people eviscerate.
Yes.
Do you know how many players he's helped and raised?
I
Aaron, it's best you say based on your knowledge. You cannot
be based on knowledge. It's based on facts.
You can't come and make a sweeping statement.
No, it's based on
the fact that Adeyemi and I thank them build studios and say others didn't do anything. That I will not take.
I didn't say they didn't do anything. I said they haven't done enough.
Right.
They haven't done enough.
What's enough for you?
To a large extent.
So I ask you, what's enough? No, please leave it. What's enough for you, Aaron?
Okay, so now
what would be enough?
Description of enough
build
is
national
giving.
Stadium.
Nobody says it should be the national stadium.
What would be
but giving back to ensure, giving facilities, or probably maybe renovating major facilities to ensure that that opportunity given to you.
You're not able to answer what enough is. You're not able to answer what enough is. People give in different ways, Aaron. Let's not castigate our national heroes. Let's leave them.
I agree with you and I agree with him. On the one hand,
no, you're always in the middle.
No, I'm in the middle. I agree with both of you. But we have to balance it.
No, have to balance it.
No, it cannot be one way. No, it cannot be one way.
You can't say because
they are doing it. Mention it. I am talking about that. You haven't mentioned anything.
The point here is the point.
That is a drop in the ocean. Do you know how many people who've set up?
Can I make my point, guys? Can I make my point? Can I make my point? The point is this. The reason I'm saying I agree with both of you. You can see the things that some of them are doing outside of football and some inside of football. Where he stands is what are they doing to where they were fed, which is the football.
A lot of them are doing.
Not many.
Mention them.
I know what I know. Sorry, hold on. Can I just finish?
Did you
Guys,
see
can I
Sports
finish?
Academy
Rufai,
he
can I
built?
finish what I was saying?
Have you gone to
Can I
school?
finish so that we can move on?
I think you should take your camera and go to the school.
Rufai, what I'm saying is this. The point is the likes of Segun Odegbami, I've seen his academy, and I know he's doing a fantastic job. But there are not many who are doing exactly what Uncle Segun Odegbami is doing. Not many. If we have... Can I just finish? Can I just finish? Can I... Wait, hold on 1 second so that we can wrap.
This particular bracket. Segun Odegbami did not make the kind of money some of our players made.
Yes. So the point I'm making is this. There are some of these younger footballers who have made billions, who have, in terms of naira, because they were paid the kind of money that you cannot even begin to imagine when you look at what the likes of Odegbami earned. So they have a duty and responsibility to what we call their constituency. If we have like 20 academies, hold on now. If we have 20 academies across the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, imagine what that will do to the young people who are looking for opportunities.
So we don't have enough. Unfortunately, our time is fast.
We don't have enough academies.
We have more than enough academies.
We have our first guest waiting. Thank you so much,
He knows that we have more than enough academies. You can't argue that.
I just want to mention very quickly. I have to go now. I just want to mention very quickly, at least one person who is doing something, even though she was not a sport or a footballer herself, is the First Lady of Edo State. I want to spotlight that. So 60 million prize money is very commendable. And this wraps up on the 1st of November. We'll find out who is going to get that 60 million prize money. Kudos to the First Lady of Edo State, Her Excellency Betsy Basiki.
There are players, there are ex-players, there are players, current players that can give out 60 million.
Right.
And they will not feel it. It will be almost like a drop in the ocean for them.
Thank you, Aaron.
And how many of them are doing it?
We'll see you on Friday.
How many of them?
All right.